Imagine walking into a courtroom thinking you are untouchable, believing that no one can challenge your power, only to be put in your place by a young, fearless judge. This is the story of Victor Harrington, a billionaire who thought his wealth could save him from anything until he met Judge Sophia Carter. What happens when arrogance meets justice? Let's find out. Victor Harrington was not just any businessman, he was the owner of multiple luxury companies, a man who had built an empire through money, influence, and sometimes shady dealings. He believed in one rule: money controls everything. If there was a problem, he could throw money at it, and it would disappear. He had bribed officials, lawyers, and even judges before. So when he was charged with fraud and tax evasion, he walked into the courtroom with a smug confidence. As he entered, he looked around and smiled. He knew this would be just another game for him. His expensive lawyers were with him, ready to twist the law in his favor. But what he did not expect was the person sitting on the judge's seat. Judge Sophia Carter was young, sharp, and determined. Unlike most judges Victor had encountered, she was not influenced by power or wealth. She had built her career on honesty and fairness, earning a reputation for being one of the toughest and most fearless judges in the state. As she took her seat, her gaze was steady and her voice was firm. "Mr. Harrington, you are accused of fraud, bribery, and tax evasion. How do you plead?" Victor smirked and leaned back. "Not guilty, Your Honor. And may I say, you are quite young to be sitting in that seat. Are you sure you can handle a case like this?" There was a murmur in the courtroom. His words dripped with arrogance, and it was clear that he did not take the judge seriously. But Judge Carter remained unfazed. Victor continued to mock her throughout the hearing. When she asked him a question, he would reply sarcastically. When she pointed out evidence against him, he would laugh and whisper to his lawyers. He even exaggerated his expressions, acting as if the whole trial was a joke. At one point he chuckled and said, "Judge, I have seen people twice your age struggle with cases like this. Perhaps you should focus on smaller cases like traffic violations." His lawyers smirked, and some members of the audience chuckled. But Sophia Carter did not react. She remained composed, letting Victor dig his own grave. Then the moment of truth arrived. Judge Carter calmly opened a thick file and revealed solid evidence against Victor: bank statements, hidden transactions, recorded conversations, all proving his guilt. The courtroom fell silent. Victor's smirk faded. He shifted uncomfortably. His lawyers whispered urgently, but there was nothing they could do. The evidence was overwhelming. Judge Carter then leaned forward and spoke, her voice clear and firm. "Mr. Harrington, do you still believe this is a joke? Do you think the law is something to play with? Because, according to these documents, you are facing serious prison time." Victor swallowed hard. He had never been in a position where money could not save him. The confidence he had walked in with was gone. After hours of arguments, the jury made their decision. The foreman stood up and announced guilty on all charges. Judge Carter looked directly at Victor. "Mr. Harrington, you have used your wealth to escape justice for too long. But today the law has caught up with you. You are sentenced to 15 years in prison and a fine of $10 million. The courtroom erupted in gasps. Victor's face turned pale. He tried to argue, but his voice was weak. His money, his power, his influence, none of it could help him now. As he was led away in handcuffs, Victor looked back at Judge Carter, regret evident in his eyes. He had underestimated her. He had mocked her, belittled her, thinking she was too young, too inexperienced to challenge him. But in the end, she had proven that true power does not come from money, it comes from justice. Judge Carter watched as he was taken away, then turned to the courtroom. "Let this be a lesson. Law is not for sale." The crowd stood and clapped. Justice had been served. The story of Victor Harrington teaches us a powerful lesson. Arrogance and wealth cannot protect anyone from justice, no matter how rich or powerful someone is. The law is above all, and Judge Sophia Carter proved that with courage, integrity, and determination, even the most powerful can be held accountable. So what do you think? Do you believe justice was truly served? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this story, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful stories like this. Until next time, stay strong and stand for justice.